magic makers, and Merry Christmas again. Now I'm bringing you new moon reading, the last one for this year, because it's on the 26th of December, and it's kind of special this time. That's why I also brought a candle and some Palo Santo and all these beautiful witchy goodies, because this time around there's a lot happening. Because not only there's a new moon, but there was also the solstice on the 22nd, and the New Year's is just behind the corner. So you will see that this reading is not only about the new moon and what you can start newly with this moon phase, but also with the solstice and with the new year as a whole. So you can kind of take this reading as an intention setter, let's say, for the beginning of the next year as well, or for some intention setting in terms of the solstice and either welcoming the sun coming back if you're on the northern hemisphere, or celebrating the full capacity of the sun if you're on the southern hemisphere. I never know how to pronounce this thing, if it's hemisphere or hemisphere, whatever. So as always, we will have a look at what's good to let go of, what's good to let in on the other hand, and this is the guidance card. Now this time the cards are a little bit darker, if you see, but I think the meaning is quite nice. So the first one, the letting go card. So here we got the 8 of coins. Coins are the color of earth, so they symbolize everything physical that you can touch and that you're probably working on in the actual real world. And the 8, I perceive this card as very patient and very focused on doing something, creating and building. But we've got this card on the letting go position. And I think what it's trying to tell us is that all the projects and everything that you've been working on this past year that doesn't feel worth your energy and attention anymore, it's good to let go of. Because now there's new wind coming with the new year. You'll need new energy for a new cycle. So you should conserve it and keep doing just the things that still make sense to you. Because, you know, I know it's a huge cliche, but it's all about the process, not about the end, right? And it might as well happen that if you keep going with something that doesn't make sense to you, you will end up hating the end result in the end anyways, because you will feel like you have sacrificed way too much for it to be worth it. So yes, I think it's about reflecting what still makes sense in your life. If you want to keep doing stuff the way you're doing it, that's also about asking questions, you know, like, is this way of living working for me? Do I want to change something about it? And that brings me to the other card, the letting in card, which is really interesting because this is a very dark card, one of the darkest in tarot, and it's the 10 of Swords. We have it upside down in here, and this is all about the fall of ego. Okay, this is the state that you're down on your knees, everything seems like it's falling apart around you, mostly because you have made plans in your head. You have painted this picture of what things are gonna be like, and then the reality hits and it's nothing like you have pictured it, and it breaks you because your head is trying to be in control of everything, which by definition you cannot be. So inevitably you end up feeling like a failure. Now the good thing about this card is that if you hit rock bottom, you cannot go any lower and you can only go upwards from now on. And so this card is reminding us that whatever happened this past year that feels like it's brought you down on your knees and you can't get over it, then let it in, let it sit in, be with the thing, and ask questions. Questions like, why did this happen? What might be a deeper meaning? What's the lesson that I was supposed to learn from this? And then try to figure out a way out. Because pretty much whatever you do, you only go upwards. So it's kind of good, very empowering. You cannot make a mistake right now. So whatever you do, just go with it and experiment, which is, by the way, what this card says as well. Like this is about being very precise, very controlled. Well, letting go of this. So maybe that means that we should be more playful and more experimental in life right now. Which brings me to the last card, to the guidance card, which is Road Less Traveled. So again, all about taking risk, trying different ways of doing things, asking questions regarding the way you do stuff and how you live and whether it's actually still working for you, and taking the risk and experimenting. Now, in a more practical way, what that means is that, for example, imagine that you are your child self, that you are, let's say, 5 or 8 or even 12 years old. How would you handle the situation that's ahead of you? How would you decide? What would you do if you were in this space of much more imagination, openness, and freedom? So, yeah, if I summarize the whole thing again, letting go of way too much structure and projects and things that we might have been building for a long time but don't really feel like making sense to us anymore, and clearing space for something else. Letting in is painful situations and events from 2019 and the lessons that they have brought with us, and knowing that we can only come out stronger from them. A good thing would be maybe to write those experiences down and try to come up with some positive lessons that they have brought you. And the guidance is, again, to be more playful, experimental, imagining yourself being a child again and deciding from that space. So, Merry Christmas again, Happy New Year. I'll be back soon with a reading for 2020 in terms of what the card for the whole year is and what that means. So I'll see you soon. Bye.